Hi guys, today we'll be learning how to solve a radical equation. Our problem is square root of 2x minus 1, and outside of the square root is plus 2 equals x. Now the first step would be to subtract the 2 to leave the square root by itself. We must subtract the 2, and now we are left with square root of 2x minus 1 equals x minus 2. Now in order to get rid of the square root, we must square both sides. In order to get rid of the square root, we must square both sides, which leaves us with 2x minus 1 equals 2 copies of x minus 2. Since you were left with 2 copies of x minus 2, you must FOIL both terms, leaving you with 2x minus 1 equals x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4, which is simplified to x squared minus 4x plus 4. Now you must equal to 0, which will mean you would subtract the 2x and add the 1. After we equal it to 0, it would give us 0 equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now we must find two numbers that multiply to 5 and add to negative 6. So two numbers that multiply to 5 and add to negative 6 will be negative 5 and negative 1 multiplied to get 5 and add to negative 6. Now we must set each term to 0 to find x. After setting both terms equals to 0, you are left with x minus 5 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. In order to find x, on the first term we must add 5 to both sides, and you must add 1 to both sides on the second term, leaving you with x equals 5 and x equals 1. Please remember that you must perform a mandatory check, meaning you will plug in each answer to your original equation. For a mandatory check, we must plug in the two values of x into the original equation, which was square root of 2x minus 1 plus 2 equals x. Remember that our two values for x were 5 and 1. So here we plugged in, instead of x, we put the value of 1. Now we are left with square root of 2 times 1 minus 1 plus 2 equals 1. Now we must work it out and see if the value of x of 1 is an answer for our problem. After plugging in our x value and performing the math, we are left with 3 equals 2. You can follow the steps in here to see where I got 3 equals 1, which is an extraneous solution. Therefore, the value of x cannot be 1 because 3 cannot equal to 1. Now we must check our second x value, which was 5, and when we plug it into our original equation, we are left with square root of 2 times 5 minus 1 plus 2 equals 5. Now you must perform the math in order to get the actual value. When performing the math, you do 2 times 5 minus 1, which leaves us with 9, the square root of 9, plus 2 equals 3, which equals 3 plus 2, which 3 is the square root of 9, equals 5. Therefore, 5 equals 5. Which means that 5 is our only solution. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope this helped you to understand how to solve a radical equation.